I'm going to show you how proper footwork will help improve your healing scores during the heel pattern, and then stick around until the end of the video, and I'll show you also how to improve your scores for the figure 8. Okay, most people at the very beginning of the heel pattern start out with a big mistake, and this is especially important if you have a slower dog or a dog that stresses easy. It's not as important with a high energy fast dog, but it's still going to catch them off guard. So the judge asks if you're ready to heel, and you acknowledge in the affirmative, and then they say forward, and so many people will start out with a big first step and go on. So their first step normally looks like this when the judge says forward. You don't want to do that, because if you have a dog that's not as fast, what's going to happen is you're going to leave them behind. If they stress out once you're ahead of them, they're not even going to bother catching up. So instead, when the judge says forward, you want that first step to be a half step, then increase your step. So it will look more like this. Forward. And that gives your dog a second to start moving and accelerate and catch up with you. So let me show you what it looks like with my dog. Forward, half step, and go. Forward, half step, and go. Good. The next footwork mistake I see is people abruptly stopping. So you're walking along. The judge says halt, and I see people just slam on the brakes and stop. The dog's either going to go in front of them, or it's going to stand. It's not going to sit. So what you want to do instead, the judge says halt. Take 1 or 2 steps. Usually what I do is I take a full step and then a half step. So I'll show you again. Halt, full, half, together. That's going to give your dog a chance to stop with you, and you'll get all your points. Halt, half step, and halt. Good girl. And see how she was already in the correct position by the time my feet were together. Halt. The next mistake I see a lot is the about turn. So people are walking forward. The judge says about turn, and they'll just turn on that 1 foot, pivot 1 foot and take off. What's happening, again, it's if you have a slower dog, that dog gets stuck behind this leg as you're already turning, and now you're already taking off, and they were stuck back behind your leg. So you don't want to fake your dog out. You want to ease into a direction change, a speed change, or stopping and starting. I have a 3-step pivot, and it gives my dogs plenty of time to turn around. So the judge says, about turn, right foot, right foot, step. Right foot, right foot, step. Right foot, right foot, step. And I turn 1 to 2 steps after the judge tells me to. So it will be like this for the timing. About turn, right, step. About turn, right, step. About turn, right, step. That's giving your dog a chance to turn with you instead of leaving them behind. Heel. About turn, right, step. Right, step. Right, step. Right, step. The next mistake I see will be the right turn. So the same thing as the about turn. If it's too abrupt, you're going to leave your dog behind, and if they're stressed out, they don't want to catch up with you. So you're walking, the judge says right turn, and people will just pivot on whatever foot they're on. It's not as bad if you're happening to pivot on the right foot, but if you pivot on that left foot, your dog is stuck behind you. So I either am going to take a 3-step pivot for my right turn, right, go, or what I will do is arc into a turn, right turn. So that right turn does not have to be abrupt. It doesn't have to be a corner. It can be rounded. Again, you're walking along, right turn. So I eased into that right turn, and you do not have to start changing direction the instant that command is out of the judge's mouth. You are allowed to take a step or two to process, and as you're processing, so is your dog. Heel, right turn, right turn. The next instance I see for poor footwork is now going to be your left turn. So several things will happen. You're walking along, the judge says left turn, and you just turn right into your dog and knock him in the head, the shoulder, or the neck. That's what happens if you're too abrupt. So either left turn, take a step or two and pivot, or left turn, round the corner. Okay, again, you do not have to have a 90-degree corner turn. You can have a 90-degree rounded turn. You can ease into it. Do what you can to allow your dog time to adapt to the position change, and your dog's going to be able to keep up with you. If you don't give them a chance to adapt, that's part of the frustration and part of the confusion, which stresses them out, and they're less likely to enjoy their time in the ring. Left turn. Good girl. Left turn. The next footwork mistake I see a lot is when you're changing speed, and I see it mostly for the slow. So you're walking along, the judge says slow, and people maintain that large stride and just slow down. So what happens, slow, what happens is that dog actually sits most of the time for that first step. And since you're taking long strides but slow strides, that foot is placed for so long your dog is thinking it's a halt. So instead, I maintain the same tempo. So what I'm doing, normal, slow, the same tempo. Okay, that gives your dog a chance to figure out exactly what it is you're doing. So count to yourself if you need to. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's the same tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You're slowing down. Your dog is able to change speed and accommodate and stay with you. And again, you're not going to lose those points. Slow. Slow. Nice. If you have a young dog, an inexperienced dog, a highly stressed dog, a reactive dog, a highly distractible dog, when you're performing the figure eight, you want to turn to the left first. What happens, I see so many people starting to the right, but look what happens to the right. I'm starting to the right, and if I have that big first step, I already left my dog behind, and I'm turning to the right, and now the dog has no chance to catch up. All right, so that's for the slower dogs. But if I have a distractible dog, an inexperienced dog, a young dog, I start and go to the right, and I just opened up the rest of the ring, the spectators, all the other dogs that are crating, everything. And instead of looking at me, they're going to be sightseeing as they go around. But if I start to the left, right away, I'm focusing my dog between me and the cone. And think of it as a thunder shirt. You're bringing their awareness inside themselves instead of having the awareness in the entire building, arena, park, or wherever you're at. It's going to help them center. It's going to help them focus. And now as you're going around the outside, they're already focused with you, and they'll be able to stay with you for the right turn. Forward. First step is a half step. I turn in. I keep her focus. And see how I have her focused now on the outside? Yes, good girl.